Hello, Moltrap again, doing, what is this, the sixth game of the skins match between Anytime and Bisu, and I've honestly lost track of exactly who's won how many games. They're going to show us how much money each player has won, but they don't have the game count, I don't think, so I'll just have to figure that out. Let's see, Bisu won the last one, I think they might be. I think Bisu might be one up right now. So it looks like Anytime, by the way, is going to be the white PROTOSS in the bottom left. Bisu is going to be in the top right. And again, I didn't really care enough to check which map this was, but I'll figure it out as the game goes along, probably. Yeah, unless this is a map that they're playing a lot of older maps in these skins matches. Which is kind of cool to see players play on the older maps, especially like the Sin Peaks map. I love that map a lot. I really like watching games on it, so it's cool to see more games on that map. But some of the maps are too old for me to know them offhand. So in any case, I apologize for that. Bisu, having taken the last game, is way up on money now. He's at 900,000 won compared to 600,000 won for Anytime. And by the way, I mentioned this before, I know, but just in case, 900,000 won is about 900 bucks. 600,000 won, 600 bucks. So yeah, both players getting their gateways straight away. No cheese or proxies or anything so far this entire set. The way they've been playing a little bit lackadaisically, well, I won't say lackadaisically, they've been playing, oh, what's that word? Dang it, I'll remember it in a second here. Oh, this is Loki 2, that's what it is. Okay, this map is Loki 2, which is not an old map. It's just from last year, basically. So, I just had to get a glimpse of parts of the map there and see. So, Bisu going for 2 gateways, interestingly enough. A little bit surprising, honestly. I would have expected him to go for tech on this map. I mean, he's been going tech every single time, almost every single time. And especially on this map, it's easy to hold your ramp and still take an expansion because you've got the expansion just behind your main base, behind that ramp. So you could have done that pretty easily. Anytime going for 2 gate as well. So that's also kind of interesting. Neither of them did it in response to each other. They both kind of did it independently, I believe. I think Anytime put down that second gateway before he got that scout in, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but with PROTOSS versus PROTOSS, it's kind of a it's kind of a crapshoot. Sometimes if you're not sure what the other person's doing, and oh, let that probe get back in there. Sometimes if you're not sure what the other person's doing, it's safer to go for 2 gate because if they're doing a 2 gate rush, then it's really hard to fend it off if you've gone for tech and all of a sudden 2 zealots come in your base and you don't have any dragoons out yet. That can be really tricky. So it's kind of a safe bet, I guess, to go for 2 gate just in case the other guy went for 2 gate. And I guess on this map, in the long run, economically, it's easy to make up those economics. So maybe that's kind of what they were thinking. It's hard to say. But I guess they have their gateways out now. It's if they make that second gateway, it's not a terrible loss if they don't make zealots out of those gateways. It's just 150 minerals that they've lost for the short term, and that kind of money can make a difference in the early game. But maps like this tend to make long games anyway, so I'm not sure it'll really factor in things a whole lot there. Yeah, you can see Bisu's only produced those 3 zealots. And Anytime has produced, I think, also 3 zealots. So neither player has lost too much by going for those gateways, especially because both of them did it by coincidence. So in any case, both of them getting their cores down now as well. Pretty much to be expected since they haven't been producing any more zealots. They're going to go for that tech, especially since again they've got scouts in each other's bases, and with those scouts, they're going to be able to see what's going on, and if any player tried to do something, then the other player would be able to easily counter it because they have that ramp to hold. So if either player tried to get any sort of quick tech, well, so quasi quick tech, or if any player tried to mass zealots up and do a little rush, then the other player will be able to see it very easily and counter it, use that ramp to as a superior position, although both of them expanded outside their ramps, although my point does still stand because they expanded after they saw that the other player was not going to be doing anything there. Second gas already going up for both players, so they've kind of switched into a more long-term game mode, and they've both taken their expansions outside their base, which is, I think, smart at this stage in the game, because once they've taken that base and they can hold it, it's very, very, very easy. It's a piece of cake to go ahead and take that third base behind their base. So yeah, it'll be basically, if they'd taken their far base behind there, it would be more difficult to move out and retake their front door base later on. Although you know, they can still hold that choke, I guess. But that's what they're thinking, basically. We see anytime putting his robotics facility right in his front door there, what he's thinking there is that way, if he needs Reavers at his front door quickly, he can just produce them and they'll already be there at his front door, able to reinforce. The problems that can happen because of that, though, is then if Bisu is too far into his base and he's trying to get that Reaver out, then it might be to his disadvantage, because then Bisu will be able to pick off the Reavers as they popped out. Whereas if his robotics facility was up his ramp, if he had a shuttle around, he might be able to safely pick up that Reaver and maneuver it around later on. That's what Bisu has gone for. He's put that robotics facility up his ramp in his main base instead. It could be that okay, we've got a Citadel going down and the observatory for any time, which is interesting. What I was about to say is I was expecting for him to get the support bay maybe quicker, and then just use the Reaver on the ground to protect while he expanded behind his base again. But he's gotten that observatory, and he's gotten the Citadel of Adun as well, which sort of implies he might be going for Templar. He might also just be getting... We'll have to see if he's got a lot of Zealots in his army. It's possible that he's just going to go for a Zealot-heavy army and attack quickly as soon as his leg speed is upgraded. But both players are expanding behind their bases anyway, so they're just kind of at this point just fine with hanging back. And actually, I'm not sure if any time has put down his expansion yet. He is not. It doesn't look like he's put down. It's hard to tell in the mini-map, actually. Okay, finally puts it down. There we go. A little bit late. He decided to put that pylon down first. Templar Archives going up for any time. He might have been saving up money for that Templar Archives as well, instead of putting down the expansion. Bisu, on the other hand, he's got his observers coming out right here. Yeah, both observers heading towards each other's base. Oh, Bisu's chasing anytime's observer. Bringing in Dragoons, he's going to try and pick off that observer if he can, which would be a very, very important point. He'd be able to basically pick... Oh, he's moving in, he's moving in, he's able to... A couple shots taken off. If he can kill that observer, one more shot, one more shot, one more shot. The shot does not go off. Oh, there goes the shot. Wow, excellent. Bisu bringing the Dragoons in behind as well. Wow, so Bisu able to pick off that observer, and that was absolutely... That was I won't say crucial, but that was very, very important move. Very gutsy, well, I won't say too gutsy by Bisu, but very on his toes there. By picking off that observer, that first observer, Bisu was able to stop Anytime from getting any intelligence. This is Anytime's first-person view. You can see that he actually, he's not have too good of a view of Bisu's base. He's not had a view of Bisu's base in a while, so he is not going to be able to he doesn't know basically what Bisu's tech is right now, because he hasn't been able to get that observer in there. So he doesn't know if Bisu's coming out with Dark Templar again, or what's going to happen there. Although he's sending in a Dark Templar drop now, and that's kind of interesting because he knows that Bisu has observers, although he doesn't know that Bisu has a forge. Actually, I'm not sure if he has a forge up already. This is Bisu's first-person view here, by the way. You can see he did have an observer over in the left side of Anytime's base. He was able to check out that tech a little bit. He's got a Reaver out now, too. I think it's interesting he's gotten that Reaver. It seems like it's almost a little bit late for Reavers. 3 bases in. I would have expected him to go straight for more Templar instead and just go straight for the High Templar. Coming in with a bit of a drop here. Dark Templar drop. It's too bad. It's almost too bad that's not a Reaver drop. I think he probably could. No, he's not even dropping. Distracted back in his own base. Again, multitasking. Saving it for doing BC well. But this time he's just going straight for that Nexus there. I don't think he's going to be able to pick off that Nexus. He might be able to, though. There's Observers coming in. There's a Dragoons coming in as well. But I think it's not going to do any good. He's going to be able to pick off that Nexus just by sheer firepower. The Observer is not nearby enough. The Observer is not there. And he's going to be able to pick off that Nexus. Oh my god. Excellent, excellent. That Dark Templar drop doing a lot more than I thought it was. And Bisu's sending his Dragoons back there, but not sending an Observer in at the same time. It could be he doesn't have any Observers. Maybe his only Observer is out in the field, and he was not able to... You can see he's blocking up his door there with those Dragoons to try and keep those Templar from running up into his main base. And again, he's going to keep Anytime from getting a Scout in by blocking those Templar. But in the meantime, he's lost that Nexus, and that was absolutely crucial. That was crucial because now Anytime's one base ahead, and BC's going to be able to put that Nexus right back up. But in the meantime, it's going to take him a long time to get that base back up and running in. Well, not a terribly long time, but enough. And Bisu moving out here, he knows that he's at an economic disadvantage right now. He knows he's going to have to move in with what he has. He has that Reaver, so that could make the difference for him if he can get that Reaver going and to do some damage there. So Bisu just trying to move in here with what he has, trying to push in and do kind of a counter, basically. He knows that Anytime has spent a little bit of money on those Templar. Templar, another drop going in for Anytime, though. He's going to try and re-drop those Templar, it looks like, this time in Bisu's main base. In the meantime, Bisu coming into his front there. Oh my gosh, oh, they're High Templar in there. Oh my god, oh my god. 14 and 10, 24 probe kills. 24 probe kills. In the meantime, Bisu's completely distracted at his front door there. Bisu doesn't accomplish a ton with this drop, with this attack right now, then he is absolutely gone. And I don't think he's going to accomplish enough. He's got his Templar there, but they weren't doing very many storming. His Templar, he's just gotten his Templar archives up, so... Actually, I don't even know if that was Bisu's Templar. I think that may have been Anytime's Templar, just chilling around. And that one Reaver is doing a lot of good. In fact, it looks like Bisu is going to take this battle. Anytime trying to pick off that... Oh, barely dropping that Reaver back out of the shuttle before it got picked off there. So Bisu barely able to kind of take that battle there, but then it didn't really matter because it was Anytime's front door. Anytime was able to reinforce. Oh, those those Templar. It looks like it's... Oh, well, if they'd had any power left, they would have just stormed them while they were running, and that would have been catastrophic. I think this is already game, though. I'm not sure there's much that Bisu can do to get back here. Anytime taking a 4th base, Bisu just getting his 3rd base back up again. Anytime has cannons everywhere. Bisu is going to have to pull off some crazy MFing Templar drops or something like that and take out all of Anytime's probes. No, no. I'm just trying to come up with some way that Bisu might be able to come back in this, but I really don't think it's possible. That last-ditch attack was indeed his last ditch, and I really don't think that there's any way that he can come back in this game. He's just too far behind economically. Anytime putting up a 5th base now at the 6 o'clock position, and Bisu had his army slaughtered, and he does not have the income to rebuild his army as quickly as Anytime. Plus, Anytime has more Templar around. Bisu does not have that Reaver anymore. He doesn't even have Templar of his own, I don't think, that I've seen. Okay, he's decided to go actually for the inside 9 o'clock position instead of the 6 o'clock position. Anytime's put this base there. A couple Archons going up in Bisu's base, and frankly, I think that's a ridiculous choice. He needs Storm right now. He does not need Archons. If Anytime had a lot of... Oh, Anytime going in for... he's lining up for drop here. He is going in, and Bisu does not seem to see it. He does not seem to see it, but Anytime falls back anyways. That was kind of weird. I'm not sure why he did that. Maybe he just wanted to scare Bisu, which is a possibility. But yeah, Bisu, he really needs Storm right now. As I was saying, if Anytime had gotten a lot of Zealots, then the Archons might have been a better choice, but there's just as many Dragoons there, and the Templar and what have you. I don't think that Archons were the best choice. But, you know, as people have told me in the past, you know, well, I mean, it just makes sense. I'm obviously not a pro gamer. I don't know why the players make the decisions that they do. I just, personally, that's the way I see it. but you know, we'll see what happens. Templar going in. It looks like he's going to try and storm Bisu's army before anything happens. He gets off a few storms, but he doesn't accomplish as much as he probably could have if he'd waited and used those storms in the midst of a battle. But it looks like he was just trying to soften Bisu's army up before going for his main attack, and this is the last battle, I think, folks. I think that, yeah, he's still got extra storms. That one Reaver is out to help, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough. The Reaver gets stormed. All of his Dragoons get stormed to heck as well, so looks like Bisu is barely going to be able to not hold off this army, and he just doesn't have the economy to build back up, even if he did hold off anyway. So Bisu GG's. Excellent play by Anytime, and I think, wow, the Dark Templar drop, taking out that Nexus, that was absolutely crucial, and it's really, it's interesting that Bisu didn't have that Observer nearby. That would have changed the game significantly if he did. And then, of course, the Templar drop, killing 24 probes in Bisu's main. Obviously, I think that was the last nail in the coffin there. And Bisu just kind of throwing his forces at Anytime. It was really over at that point, though, as soon as Bisu lost that battle. So, alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'm going to try and do Game 7 as well. This has been a great set, so I'm looking forward to one more pretty good